focus on the grandest ship in history and you act as if you're going to your execution.
Oh, forget it, Boyle. You'll never get next to the likes of her.
I'm the king of the world!
I understand you. It is a fine match with Hockley. It will ensure our survival.
I know you've been melancholy. I don't pretend to know why.
Don't come any closer. I'll let go.
No, you won't.
Why can't I be like you, Jack? Just head out for the horizon whenever I feel like it.
I've got $10 in my pocket. I have nothing to offer you, and I know how the world works.
I'm flying.
What made you think you could put your hands on my fiancée?
They've got you trapped, Rose, and if you don't break free, you're gonna die.
It's a ship. There's only so many places she can be. Find her.
Iceberg, run ahead! I have been robbed.
Is this it? Don't you believe it, Rose?
Don't you understand? The water is freezing and there aren't enough boats. Half the people on the ship are going to die.
Not the better half.
What are we doing, Mommy? When I finish putting first-class people on the boats, it'll be starting with us.
All the way!
Why are the boats being launched half full?
For God's sake, there's women and children down here! Let us out so we can have a chance!
Where are you going? What to him?
You jump, I jump, right?
I hope you enjoy your time together!
We have to stay on the ship as long as possible.
This is where we first met. God almighty. Oh, God! This is it! Oh, God! Oh, God!
Hey guys, welcome to week whatever on the Real DVD Watchers, and this is going to be Chick Flick Week, and as usual, I'm presenting the conclusion. So that's why I chose Titanic. This is a film which I think everybody has seen, and I just wanted to present my thoughts on it as to why I think it is a good movie, contrary to popular belief, even though it's, as I mentioned before, the most successful film ever made. If you have not seen this movie, I'll just briefly tell you that this is a story of two star-crossed lovers. One is from a wealthy family, and the other is who is not as well off, manages to win a ticket in a game of luck. And these characters are Jack Dawson, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and Rose whatever, played by Kate Winslet. And she's basically this character who's in a situation in her life where she's starting to realize it's not what she wants. She's well off, and yet at the same time she feels very confined in her world and her social class. Whereas Jack is not well off, and yet he's much more happy and content with his life than, say, Rose is, despite her wealth. And they meet in a situation where she attempts to end her life because she's so desperate to just be out of it and not feel so trapped anymore. But they meet under those circumstances and basically fall in love, but it's a story of how they can't make it work under the circumstances because she is basically not in control of her life and will not be allowed to be with him. And then of course you have the untimely sinking of the Titanic, which brings in its own problems. This film, I feel, from a production standpoint, is fantastic. As far as the visual effects go, there are a few shots in there where I look and go, wow, those look really, really dated. Yet, for the most part, some of the effects still stand to this day, in my opinion. Particularly the final shots in which the ship is up like that and starts going down and crash. You know, all those moments, that looks really great to me. But there are a few shots, like in the beginning when Jack and his little friend are on the front of the ship shouting like, "I'm king of the world." It does this like zoom out, and then you start to get a bigger scope of what the ship looks like and everything. That didn't really work for me. I mean, I'm sure back in the day it was fantastic, and today it's still pretty impressive, yet it still does look a little dated, and you can tell that it's not real. I mean, you know it's not real because the ship obviously is not available for use, but it does kind of take away from it now. But as I mentioned, it's not really a fault of the movie, just time that really did that. The look of the film, and I don't mean the lighting or the cinematography, I just mean the costumes, the productions, the sets, I mean. Everything about that look, as far as that goes, is fantastic. I find it some of the best I've ever seen, to be honest. Not the best, I would say. I'd have to think hard about that one, but it's certainly amongst those, I would feel. There's a lot of attention to detail, I find, in that film, and it really just really helps you become immersed in that world that they've created. And the score, I own the score, and it's one of the best scores, to be honest. It's very moving. There's an epic feel to it, like when the ship starts its maiden voyage. There's this epic scope to the music that you could listen to it just on its own and close your eyes and you'll just feel amazing. And then of course there's the more serious, romantic-esque and also tragic moments that the score really captures, and it doesn't take away. It's not like the scene would need that music, but as most music does, it enhances the scene rather than just do something for it. Great score. And on that note, you have to talk about the acting. Naturally, acting is a big part of how you feel, and Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio have great chemistry together, and I would not say it's the greatest acting ever, but it's still strong, and the chemistry between those two is brilliant. I really enjoy the performances by Kathy Bates, who plays the a real character who was real on the Titanic, the unsinkable Molly Brown. I just love her energy and attitude when it comes to delivering her lines. Billy Zane, who plays Rose's fiancé, is a controlling, manipulative asshole, basically. I love his performance. He's one of those villains who you love to hate, or at least I did. I mean, I hated him, but I just loved hating him because he was so great in that role. And the character was well written. In terms of the writing, some people have said that the story is pretentious. I don't really see how it's pretentious. It's a star-crossed lover story, and there are a few lines in there that are a little over-the-top romantic, and yet at the same time, I personally don't feel that it's inconceivable that a person could say something like that. But that's just me. One of the other things I like about the story is how they mix in a lot of the real characters into this fictional story. The real people who are on the Titanic, like the captain, I don't remember any of their names, the designer, all those people are mixed into this fictional story, which I liked a lot about it. It gives a sense that this is not just entirely a love story, but also a story of the tragedy of the Titanic. And another thing that I really kind of dug about this film is how, for our generation, at least for the people who liked it, it's one of those films that's... It's like the Casablanca of, or Gone with the Wind of this... not this decade, but this sort of generation, if you will, because it's got that grand feel to it. It's got this tragic love story to it, and it's got these really strong emotions going for it. I personally love the hell out of this film, and I really think that people complain because it's so popular. There's a reason it is popular. Movies are popular for a reason, and this is one of them where I really just stand by and think it deserves all the credit it got. Because when you look back on that year, what movie do you remember most? Well, maybe not you. You might think, well, I remember this movie. But when you think about what movie is remembered most, it's Titanic. And, you know, you have to earn that popularity. You have to earn that right. And I think Titanic earned it superbly. So that's my review for Titanic, everybody. Thanks for watching Chick Flick Week. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.